Greetings and good health and happy Women's Month to you all. Welcome to another issue of Opening Up with Sello Maake Ka-Ncube. They call her Real Gabadia. You know, she's my baby. I remember her walking on set as a little girl. She's a young woman today. And me and her are going to have a little chat, open up, discuss very, not intimate, but intimate thoughts and the intimacy of your own vision. Okay, please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on Open Up with Sello. Nomvelo
Thank you for having me.
Makhanya. Thank you, my baby.
Siyabonga.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Usually when I start the show, I always start with a quote. But I start the show with, but today, I'm going to ask you to share with us a quote that I guess maybe resonates with you. Yes.
I think the one,
do you have one?
Yeah, definitely. I think the one quote
Yes.
I've always lived by was, happiness is a choice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happiness
Is a choice. You choose to be happy. Everything else could distract
Just
you,
to- yes.
but it's your choice to be happy.
To be happy. How old were you when we first met? If I can take you there.
Good Lord. I was 16.
16.
I was 16 years old. When I was
Right,
young.
right. What year was it?
It was 2012.
2012.
Yep.
Okay. I had been there. I think I've been there because I started with Scandal.
When it
I
first
think,
started.
in 2007.
Imagine.
Yes. And and then they introduced the Gamma family,
Yes.
and then you were part of that, and I saw this little girl, we were always coming in. You were still at school.
I definitely was, I was at the
Yeah.
National School of the Arts.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think about Patrick and whatever they used to
Yeah.
hate you guys.
Yeah, no.
Because they had to
We'd
wait for you.
We'd always come late, yeah. He'd be like, why do we have to wait for you guys when we've been working the whole
Right. Look, here it is. Here's something. When you grow up, there are memories. We all have memories of our childhood, no? But there are those memories that we get told of the things that we did when we were children. We were not aware. I think one of the things, is that, when I was growing up, I never used to know, I couldn't, my mother's name is Virginia.
Yes.
And I couldn't say Virginia. So I used to call her Nzinia. So they would say, I would come to Nzinia, oh, no one's sharp, Nzinia. Okay. Now, those are, those kind of memories. Do you have any of those memories that,
If I had to think on the top of my head,
yes.
I think the one thing my family always tells me is how bubbly I used to be. Like,
Right, yeah.
I think they always say that they always knew that I'd become what I am because of how I portrayed myself, like as a child. I'd always be dancing when the family's around.
Yes,
I
yes.
was always this bubbly little girl.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
always very out
Right.
there, and I did what I wanted when I
Yes.
wanted.
And I think, was that for you, things that when you look back at them, that those were the things that were defining you?
Definitely.
Or that ultimately, defining you.
Defining
in the
me,
career-
yes,
in the
most
career that you are
definitely,
in now.
most definitely, Papa. Yeah,
After matric, did you go study drama?
I tried.
Yeah, you tried.
I really did try. So I went to the National School of the Arts. It's a high school based in Braamfontein.
Okay, my son went there.
Oh, what year did he?
Gosh, when was it? I think he matriculated. I think in 2000.
Oh,
Yeah, he matriculated in 2000.
I was probably like 3 years old. then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, he matriculated in 2000.
So I
yes.
went to the National School of the Arts.
Alright.
So that school focused on on
The
drama.
arts, yes,
so
yes,
my experience does come from the school. But I did try after high school. I was already working at Scandal by then.
Yes.
I tried. I auditioned for the Market Lab. Got in, paid my fees for the year, and I had to drop out basically on my second day because it just wasn't accommodating with my work. So I kind of had to make a choice between the two. Do I continue with school or, I've already gotten this job and I'm getting the experience. So, so then obviously I'm still here.
Yeah, I must share my experience with you with my son. When my son was going to, apply for to apply to go to NSA. What is it? NSA?
Yeah, NSA.
National School of the Arts. And I gave him something to prepare.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the day before the auditioning, I said, okay,
let's go.
I said, no. And he did his audition, and I could see, this is not it. And I said to him, that dude, I'm sure when you were rehearsing, when you were rehearsing, you were, doing things that you were enjoying.
So do them now.
Can you try with those things and see how it looks? Yo.
And it was beautiful.
Was I blown away? And I remember, when I needed to give him notes, I was so chuffed and I was so impressed.
By him.
And I had this smile on my face, and I was like, but you see.
Yeah,
when you get there,
then you
and I'm trying to contain my smile. How was your audition?
What an experience!
Yes.
Firstly, on the day where I was actually supposed to audition, I was unprepared. And then luckily, because my cousin was in the school, we're like, what, dude, we'll just set another day for you. So my mom called the school, then we got the following weekend. During the week I was at my cousin's and she was helping me prep for this thing.
Okay.
And I think from then they knew, they knew. I also knew, I felt it. I felt like I'm definitely, it was very nerve-wracking, but it was it was definitely a fun audition. Yeah.
Auditions are never nice.
Yeah. I was doing a self-tape just earlier on before I came here and was and I'm not enjoying self-tapes. It's such a, it's like, can I not just be there for the physical audition?
Exactly,
it's a different experience, But yeah, auditioning for NSA was cool.
And you know what you could do with that? And because I'm actually finding myself I've got to do one actually for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's that I think one needs to find a good partner. And somebody to read with. Because that's all you need.
That's all. No. I don't want to lie. I've been very fortunate. My scandal husband, because my character recently got married, but he's been helping me a lot with my audition. So we normally just at work, because we're at work 7 to 7, so it's just whatever space we get, we just try shoot this. He's really amazing.
No, that's great. So you found that it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was.
And then your journey now at school, here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
Okay, here you are. You're attending school. You're a TV star. How do you deal with that?
I know a lot of people at school weren't happy.
Yeah.
I know you guys weren't happy. I'm talking to you over there. A lot of people, because it was quite a few of us when, because we had found out on the actual day that Scandal was holding auditions. I think it's because they couldn't find whatever they were looking for with the other agents, so they called my school. So then we went. I personally didn't want to go because I had too many assignments that I needed to do. But my friends convinced me. We went. I think there were about 5-6 of us from school. And we're like, guys, one of us has to get this thing.
Right.
But when I got it, it was a completely different conversation. I think there was literally only one person in class when everyone found it. Because I found out on the day, but I wasn't sure. I'm like, nah, my teacher, what did she, because all she did was ask for my parents' number. Like, Scandal's looking for your parents' number. I'm like, okay, does that mean... Okay, she's not saying anything. Okay, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
And then I had an extra class in the afternoon. And one of my drama teachers asked me a question because we'd written a test. And I'm like, I don't know what the answer is. She's like, just because you get paid more than me now, And I was like, and literally everyone reacted. And there was literally only one person that said congratulations.
Yeah.
There was literally a few, just one person that had said to me, dude, congratulations, well done, in class. But everyone else was pretty amped. Everyone was excited. I think even for my parents, they didn't think that it would last this long. They just thought it was just something in that you're doing for the time being. But it was difficult, I suppose, just having also to juggle school and work, because like you were saying earlier on, Scandal had to kind of wait for me every single day. I'd come in at 3 o'clock and all of that. And it was just really strenuous because you have to focus on scripts here as well. You have to focus on school. It's just a whole lot of work. But I don't know, somehow I managed.
And we never worked together, isn't it?
We never did.
We never did.
We never did.
But that's fine.
But I'm putting it out to the universe. It's going to happen.
You're on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, no.
In my world.
Yeah, the pit's over there.
What does acting mean to you?
Sure. Acting has been a calling for me. I don't think that... I don't know what else I would be doing if it wasn't for this. Like, if it wasn't acting. Like, I personally feel like... Because even going to audition for the National School of the Arts, I didn't go there because I wanted to do it. Or I mean, the idea sounded great, but I was really going there to prove a point. Cause, my maths teacher was like, no, why am I going to an art school? I can just go to a normal school, be like every other kid. And I'm like, why why can't I just be why can't I just be myself? So I went there to prove a point, not knowing that the universe and my ancestors and God was already planned. It was already there. Yeah.
Interesting that you say that for you acting is a calling. There's a book, an acting book that I once read, and this guy says acting, like priesthood, is a calling. Interesting.
Interesting.
And for me that takes it even further.
Yeah.
That I always look at acting as and I say, if you can preach, you can act.
You can act.
And because I think preachers,
it's a lot of work.
Preachers are the best actors
ever.
in the world.
Ever. They will convince you that something is.
Yeah, and they hold a one-man show.
Yeah.
And now, with that, I mean, acting, basically giving you that kind of space and that exploration of life. How do you how do you connect with a character?
How do I connect with, I birthed Lindiwe from a very young age. I think because also like the age gap isn't too far off. With my personal age, which I will not share with you guys. Because the age is not so far off. I've used my own personal experiences in order to just connect with her. And even other, there's always, even till today, I'm still finding little elements that I can always use like with this character and bring them to life and have the audience be able to relate to that kind of character. But I think it's been able to just use my own personal experiences to connect to her.
And I always say that my first, I think, acting experience was when I was in standard 3. And our teacher gave us, we used to call them recitation. You guys grew up calling them poems, but it was a recitation for us. And our teacher gave us, to go and memorize. And like you, we only started having English as a medium of instruction only when we went to high school.
Crazy.
Yeah. So from whatever sub A, which was grade 1 to standard 6.
Sub A,
basically we were just being taught in mother tongue. And so I'm saying this, giving you this background because that when I was reciting that poem, I don't think I knew what the hell I'm saying. But I'm sure my mother helped me, and they gave us all things bright and beautiful to go and memorize. And my mother definitely rehearsed me. And I went to school, I guess, maybe after the following day, and the teacher said, okay, Lana, Kimang Otailang Station, all things bright and beautiful. It was like, okay, Maake,
come through.
I tell you, actions and all.
Everything.
I was there. And I always recall that as, I think, the moment that somehow was saying, this is my route. You know what I mean? What is a moment maybe that if you can recall it?
No, I definitely can. I realized that
and
this
is and now when you look back and you say, I was made for this.
I think it was the moment when I realized that this is it. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I was fortunate enough to perform at the National Arts Festival in 2014, my matric year.
Okay.
Now you guys know my age. In 2014, I had the opportunity to perform that side. We did a play called The Bold Prima Donna.
Okay.
Went over to that side. And then randomly, my drama teacher decided, like, oh, guys, we're going to go perform at a prison. like a prison? Like, okay, cool. We went, and I think it was literally in the moment, in the scene, and as the prisoners were watching, and I was like, yes, yes, this is it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is it. Like the smiles on their faces, like it's the most beautiful thing I ever experienced, and I won't ever forget that moment. It was so amazing.
And you just said,
like, this is it. Me. This is it.
Professionally, have you done any theatre?
Yeah, I started with theatre because the national. Definitely. Yes, I have. So obviously at NSA we did a whole lot of theatre.
Exactly. Yes.
After high school, there were a few plays that I think the most recent one was in 2018. I was performing at the Wits Theatre.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely I am going to be doing a whole lot of more theatre performances. Definitely, it's one of, I should be doing something before the year ends. It's in one of my books, so I do want to do something.
Obviously, it's my interesting subject.
I mean, I did say that you and I will work together. We will do something. The universe will bring us together.
But here's the thing. There's this thing of saying, if an actor is a theatre actor, they will never make it on television. And if a television actor goes to theatre, then also they will not make it. Do you find that there is a difference for you in that? And what is the difference?
Oh, there definitely is a huge difference, I think, between like television and theatre. Obviously, theatre, everything is more dramatized. Everything is out there and whatever.
Right.
With television, you literally always have to be real about stuff. Like you have to bring realism into, into that. But I don't think for me, I think, yes, maybe I might have struggled when I started, but also I was quite young, which is completely understandable. But when I look back and I look at that growth where I am now, professionally in television and then in theatre, I can do anything. I think we just, as artists, we just like boxing ourselves and just being different.
Exactly,
honestly, you're just an actor, and it doesn't matter whether you are a TV actor or a theatre actor. Yes, when you experience theatre, you definitely never feel the same again.
Right, yes.
Could be the same with television as well.
Exactly,
people have different experiences. Yeah.
Because I always find it very strange how, I actually say that there isn't a difference. There isn't much of a difference.
There isn't much of a difference.
And in fact, you guys are actually growing at a very nice time.
Yeah.
And very,
interesting
time. But also, and I think you're fortunate. And I'll tell you why I say you guys are fortunate. Because when we grew up watching Gibson Kenter's acting, and Gibson Kenter's acting was melodramatic.
Extremely.
It was, what? Mama, I don't know if you ever saw the Gibson Kente.
Yes.
What was it? Mama's or what?
Mama's something I remember.
Yes. And basically that was Gibson Kenter's style of acting. And I think, he couldn't maybe just make that transition from, But there was something about it as well, because when you looked at it, I think Gibson actually was emulating what is happening on opera. Because also, again, we were not performing in theatre spaces. We were performing in community halls. And now he wanted for actors to have that, enlarging themselves and projecting so that people, could hear. And also it was a musical. We used to a lot of dancing, and we used to sing with a band without mics. But here's where I actually find the difference, and is that the two mediums, in fact, there are only two types of acting. There's bad acting and good acting. But when it comes to television and theatre, it's that they're all about space. Camera, you're dealing with
that, just
with it there, whatever, that's the space.
You're dealing with
and
the
with the
entire
theatre, you're
body,
dealing with the space. And that is the only difference. Because even now, even when you go, I think you watch, especially some of the overseas plays, you can see that the actors are not trying too hard to, but they are almost, it actually plays on the naturalistic side and playing, realism. And then, all you got to do is just make yourself, because the people who come watch you is what? An audience. They are coming to hear. So be audible. You know, what is your best? Have you ever found that you have your best between the two? You prefer one than the other, or?
I don't mean to blow my own horn or
Okay.
anything, but I'm really great. I'm really great. Whatever you give to me, I'm
Yes.
great.
So basically, I mean, and do you have a preference?
No.
You love
Just
them
put
both?
me on a stage and we're good.
And then you go.
We're good. I definitely don't have. Yeah, no, I don't.
Now you have 10. How many is it?
It's been 10 years. 10 years.
What does this 10 years mean to you?
Sure.
Have you ever you've sat down and reflected?
I have. I think just recently I was reflecting. Even now, like even coming here, like even having you and Tate Sello bringing me onto the show, it's a big deal. I think it's just this past 10 years for me has been a constant reminder of the fact that I am meant to be here. This is it. Like this is what you're meant to be doing, and don't ever doubt it. Like your ancestors placed you here for a reason. Like, there's a reason why you are here, and there's a certain purpose that you need to serve.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and because I'm talking to you, you know, there are times when there are things that you would want to talk to your mother about or your father about, you know, but you know, you're not too sure whether you can.
Yeah.
I'm giving you that opportunity. Use me. Things that you've always maybe wanted to tell your mom or your dad about just growing up.
Growing up is tough. Like, it's really tough.
Yeah. Well, what's tough about it?
Just being an adult is very tough. Like, adulting is very hard.
Is it?
I don't think you guys, like, as our parents, you guys are ever, like, honest or... And I guess maybe adulting, you really just have to experience it for yourself, too. You know, for you to know that it's so difficult. But it's just... Growing up, why don't you guys say that, like, growing up is this difficult?
No, but when you're growing up, you want to...
We wanted to grow up, and now that we're grown,
and now you grow up, and yes. Memories of childhood, basically, like of your youth, you know, and things that stand out for you and that helps you, the challenges that you came across, you know, growing up as a teenager and whatever.
I think my biggest challenge growing up was... I think it was just like I said, like a lot of people weren't happy when I got scandal like at school. And I guess it wasn't even just in high school. Like I wouldn't get along with some of my peers. And I didn't understand it. Like I really didn't get it. But I guess my purpose was just bigger than me. And I understood that dude, some things you just gotta some things you just gotta let go.
Yeah.
And just be.
And just be. And just be. And here you are, for instance, maybe you know, because you're 16 and, you know, you still feel kind of like the pressure of, you know, being a child. But, you know, legally then comes the 18.
The age.
You know. And you're like, I'm 18 now. You know, I can make my own choices.
Do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was your 18?
My 18, I was in high school. It was matric. 18.
Was it a feature in your life?
I think 18 growing up, I was very rebellious growing up. And I think at 18 it was just like, let me experience what I couldn't experience anyway. Like, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're doing all of that. That was really it, I guess.
And I always say that, you know, when talking to my sons, and I'm going to say this one. I'm driving with my son. He's driving. I'm sitting on the passenger side. And we've got the GPS.
Yeah.
And I tell you, this dude is following those directions without questioning them. You know, Victoria says turn right, he turns right. Turn left, he turns
turn left.
You know. And it strikes me. I said, dude, do you realize that this guy... this lady is giving you directions, you know, and you don't question them. Why is that? I don't know, because, you know, and of course I trust he's taking me where I want. I said, okay. So are you telling me that when I tell you something you don't trust, that I want to take you where you want to? that kind of, because I think a lot of parents, we wonder, you know, we wonder about that state where it is hard for our children to take direction from us. What do you know, what makes you guys to be like that? I mean, I've had my fair share. I've had my fair share.
Of course.
But I want to
think
hear
our
from
parents
you.
have definitely had a fair share of us not wanting to take. I think with maybe millennials.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just speak for
No,
myself.
it's not even millennials. When I was in my teens too, I had issues.
I think
because my parents were old-fashioned as far as I'm concerned.
I think, Papa, we just want to be heard. And it just always feels like the parent just always wants to be right. And it's like, okay, but I also need you to hear what I'm saying. Like, hear me out. Like, hear my feelings out. And you guys just always want to be right about everything.
Right,
even
right.
when you're wrong.
You know, because I've always found that, really, really amazing. And again, even, you know, with them, you know, and you can remember, I think, when we were doing Scandal.
Scandal, yeah.
One of the directors was Komoto at one stage.
Oh, yes. She was at Rhythm City. She's at Skim Sam now. Yeah.
And now Komoto, for me, Komoto was old enough to be my daughter.
Yeah.
But I was taking direction from him.
Crazy.
You know, I was taking direction. We should say, go, you know, Papa, I want you to go there. I want you to go there. And I think for me, that gave me the analogy of life. You know what I mean? That when you are an actor, you are not objective. You are subjective. You know what I mean? And you do need somebody
To kind of
to say, hey man, just check that. Just check that. What's your opinion about that?
I definitely.
You know, because when you're on set, you don't argue with the director like you would argue with your mom or your dad.
I question things definitely on set, which is normal, but I guess that's just how things are supposed to be. We as actors are supposed to be subjective. Because yes, you'll read the script and whatever, but the director obviously wants things done in a certain way.
In a certain way, yes. And then, but Shakespeare says, all the world is a stage. And every man and woman merely players, you know, making their exits and you know, and how does that, for instance, for you, you know, compare with real life? Because even in real life, we are actors.
To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah. I mean, does it make a shift maybe for you in in your head?
In my head, definitely in my head, but I don't know how to put it in words. I definitely don't know how to answer this. Yeah.
But you know, but ponder over that a little bit. Ponder over it. You know, if you were to give advice to young people about your own personal experiences, and now let's say you're talking to yourself, or maybe an age group 16,
younger me.
Yes, the younger self of you, and you want to give it guidance. You want to help understand where it's at. What would you say to that 16-year-old?
Just stay true to yourself. Everything else doesn't matter. Everything else.
The challenges that you've had.
The challenges, I mean, it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, just stay true to yourself. If you feel very strongly about something, maybe for instance, your mom is shouting at you and you honestly feel strong about, you know, different opinions and whatever. And it's just like, stand by that. But be respectful about it as well. Like, because yes, at the end of the day, my kuzu 20 it's like, be respectful, but always just stand your ground and don't be afraid to do anything. Like, we're so young, you have nothing to lose. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Like, I think we are living in a time where literally life is so short. And if I had to advise my younger self, live. Like, live.
Yeah.
Live holy. Like, just live, enjoy life.
Right. Wow.
I mean, we were the past week has been actually crazy because we lost about like 5 of our friends in an accident. Rest in peace to the gents. But it's been really crazy. But one thing that situation also taught me was live. Live.
Politics. What's What's your take on the politics?
I mean, politics will be politics.
Do you have an opinion?
I have so much to say with all these cameras that yeah. I've
No,
got a
this
lot
is-
to say.
What's your take? I mean, I just read, the book, it's called Uncaptured by Musilo Motepu. And there's the one, she was, I think, the CEO at Trillion that blew the whistle on what was happening there, And what I found amazing is somehow, even though, there's the Temba Masekos and whatever, but people who kind of opened our eyes to what is happening. For me, it came through, for instance, Mamtuli Madonse. Because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't basically have to deal with the state, or we wouldn't have the state capture. Yeah. And then when she, and actually it was actually the last days of her term. And what happens, this woman, and she was on holiday when she heard. And she come and she hears, hey, this is happening, and she feels, no. But I can help connect the dots even more. And I think for me, because now she confirmed that the Nene Gate story. Yeah. The Nene Gate story. And she confirmed that. So for you, women in politics, what's your take on that?
I'm for women in everything.
Yes.
As women, I feel like we make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Like there'd be so much change if women were in power. If men's egos weren't so fragile as well, I think definitely the world would.
I take offense. I'm a dad.
Yeah, no,
I'm a man.
definitely, Papa, take offense. If the shoe fits.
Okay, bring it on.
If the shoe fits, but like there are men out there that like egos are just fragile. Like they wouldn't have a woman like be in power. But I'm for women in everything. My opinion on politics. Hey, it's a serious game. I think that's all I can say.
It's a serious game.
It's a serious game. Politics are a serious
But how do you
game.
feel about them? If ever one would ask you an opinion. I mean, we had the unrest. When all that was happening, what was your take?
I understand both ends. More so for the poor people. We grew up with nothing. We literally grew up with nothing, and our government day in, day out,
right,
continue to fail us. They continue to fail us. Like there's so many things, man. There's so many things. Like they make promises, they don't keep them. People were just angry. Like yes, obviously, like the Zuma thing happened, and that triggered everyone.
Right.
Because it was just everything at once happening in the country, but people were just angry and hungry.
And here I am. I said, you know what? You guys know nothing. We were in the struggle. And what do you guys know? So talk to me about that. And if ever you say, just hang on, Dad. Let's start that line with, just hang on, Dad.
Relax, Dad.
Just hang on, Dad. And then give it to me. What would you say? And here I am, I'm bringing all these credentials of being in the struggle. I fought for your freedom. All these privileges.
I'm going to give you the same answer my little brother always gives me.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dad.
Okay.
Our eras aren't the same.
Yeah?
Our eras aren't the
The
same.
same, yes.
You fought for us to have a better life.
Yes.
Why should we also struggle when you fought as my father for me to have a better life? Why should we romanticize ukuhlupheka?
Right.
Why has our government? Why do they continue to fail us? The same people that are in power, the same people that are supposed to just make it make sense, make the world a better place.
Right.
Just continue to just,
A young 16-year-old. When did you say yes to a boy? How old? I'll share with you. Let me share with you. Let's bring it home, girl. My first kiss, I think I was 13.
Ooh.
And no, it wasn't 12. It was 12. It was 12. And the lady who gave me the first kiss was a little older than me.
Ooh. It's always the case with men.
It was my mommy. Nearly mommy was. You know. And now what happened was after school, this is what happened. Well, I think they started 6, and in fact, ladies always they used to have needlework, and they would do needlework. And after school, we play, classes challenge, And as I was playing, then I think mommy, walks out as if she's going to the toilet, and she sees me, hey, there she is. She goes, hello, baby. Mommy, I think it would look wrong these days. Mommy took me into a class behind the door. And gave me a wet one.
It's crazy.
And I came out, I was like,
the happiest person ever.
Even my expression was going to mean anything. Was the expression, what is my stepmother, the alien? You remember that movie?
Yes.
And that scene when this guy has just made love to the alien.
Yes.
And he's like,
so you had the exact same moment.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was also 12.
Okay, wow.
When I had my first
we've got a lot in common, don't we?
It was on the rugby field, I think. Mm-hmm. And everyone was there. It was so weird. As kids was so weird. But everyone just wanted to see. Everyone just did it. But yeah, I was 12 years old when it happened.
And that's when you had your
my first kiss, yes.
How was it like when you went home?
I mean, it felt fine.
Did you have the feeling that they probably might see you?
I mean, I might get in trouble if the teacher were to find out, and that means my parents are going to find out, and that means I'm going to get into trouble, definitely. But it was we live in the moment, YOLO.
No. What would you want to say to young men out there? I mean, I know we spoke about their fragile egos, but if they were to understand, what being a woman and being a woman and a black woman in South Africa, what does it mean?
What would I say to them?
To all the young men, all the men, I guess, yeah.
I think firstly, just do better.
Mm-hmm.
Just do better. Be kind, especially to us women.
Mm-hmm.
Men are so unkind, and I think from a very young age.
Mm-hmm. What do you think makes that?
Society.
Mm-hmm.
I think society allows men to just be bullies. Mm-hmm. But with women, we always just have to be subjective to men all the time, and they're bullying and all of that. And we just, as women. Personally, I'm tired. Mm-hmm. But I definitely say just do better. And take accountability for things.
Yeah.
When your friend has done something wrong.
Right.
Take accountability for it. Because it's your friend. When they've done something wrong, you tell your friend that they've done something wrong. Abafana bayavunana. They will do something wrong. It's no, it's fine. You can do that. You can continue with that. And it's do better.
Yeah.
Do better. And obviously there's been this hashtag men are trash and whatever.
Yeah.
And when we speak about such things as women, yes, someone might say, not all men. And for me, that response is very problematic.
Yeah.
Because yes, if you know that you are not trash, why are you taking offense to that saying?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that hashtag is just for the men that aren't men that are trash.
Right.
We're not saying all men are trash, but why are you as a man taking offense to that?
Yes.
When all you can do is just do better. Make the world a better place for black women.
Say I mean, I hear you.
Yeah,
and the man says, yeah, I hear you. Do better. What better?
Let's teach each other to be kind, like I'm saying. Like,
Right.
men just need to, like I was saying, just taking accountability. A lot of men don't take accountability, especially with things that, when it comes to their friends.
Yeah.
Umgani will rape, Umgani will steal, Umgani will do that.
Right.
But their friends will always feel that they need to protect them all the time.
Wow.
Do better. We are struggling so much as black women. Like, we face so much as young black women and as black women. Like, it's so hard for us. Literally, everything is so hard for us. Kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. And also, you guys are our shields. We're not as strong as men. I mean, we might be stronger, but we're not as strong as, like...
but you're strong here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
yes.
But physically,
Yeah.
we're not, and
Yeah.
we rely on you, Papa, as you know, as the men in our lives to always protect us.
Yeah.
And then you guys fail to do that. I come to you, Papa. This happened, but what did you do?
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
Men just need to take accountability and just do better.
Baby. My baby, thank you.
Thank you, Papa.
Thank you for, gracing us with your presence.
Appreciate it.
Sharing your thoughts with us. And I can only but wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And these paths will someday cross.
Oh, sooner than you think.
But thank you very much,
Thank you, Papa. I appreciate it
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for having me.
Well, guys, you heard it. Do better. It doesn't take much to be kind. Well, this is me, Sello Maake Ka-Ncube, saying toodaloo. Yes, we opened up. Came to a little bit close-ups. Now we're right at the end. So, stay safe. Keep masked. And, that breath matters. So make sure that you take a very clean and healthy breath. Till next time. Toodaloo.